I'm glad you say that correctly.
Oh yeah, La Llorona or whatever.
Yeah.
What do people?
La Llorona.
La Llorona. Curse of La Llorona. But yeah, I'm excited for those, and I do believe is it the same director from the Curse of La Llorona?
The Conjuring 3?
Yes.
Yeah, because I know James Wan, obviously it is from his studio and he's had a hand in it, but I don't believe he's not directing. He's trying to step away from horror, correct? As far as being in the director's chair right now.
I do believe so. I know I'm pretty sure that he still like oversees these films and makes sure it's kind of in the same has the same feel aesthetically and everything like that.
Yeah.
But I want to say that he is. I'd agree with you on that. I think there was something about that too, that he was kind of trying to branch out and explore other opportunities.
Speaking of Atomic Monster, his production company, they also produced Mortal Kombat, which gives me a lot of hope in the aesthetic of it.
Yes.
So shout out to James Wan for making us all happy, I think.
Yeah.
What a great dude.
I want to say that him being attached to that, or his production company being attached to that, was probably a big reason for why they greenlit that.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Conjuring 3, I've watched some of the, how do you say, the kind of behind the scenes stuff of it, and everybody's saying whether it's hype or not, for sure I can't say, but everybody's saying that they weren't going to do a third one unless they had a fresh spin on on a story to tell that in an area that the first two entries haven't kind of hit on yet. So, and they're saying that it's might be the most intense yet. And for anybody who's seen Conjuring 2, it's for a big budget studio horror film, it's pretty fucking scary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty frightening. So
yeah,
I have big hopes for this third one, and like you said, Vera and Patrick Wilson are a great duo, and R.I.P. to Ed and Lorraine Warren. Their real counterparts have left this earth, so a great way to kind of carry on their legacy. I feel like they did a lot in their career, and I'm glad the newer generations will be able to kind of see it play out in cinematic form. But yeah, so stay tuned for Conjuring 3 in June. Lots of movies coming out for the fall and this summer.
Oh, big year. Especially for HBO Max.
Yo, definitely. Moving on, director Martin Scorsese's new film, Killers of the Flower Moon, has officially started production in Oklahoma and stars the longtime collaborators Robert De Niro and Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh yeah. Set in the 1920s and based upon the true crime book of the same name. Can't wait for that.
That's going to be good. Just those two being attached alone.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a heavy hitter, especially seeing De Niro doing so well in The Irishman, because in his later filmography he's done some questionable stuff, and he's just one of those actors who needs the right direction, and of course who better than his longtime buddy Scorsese. So very, very, very excited to see where that goes in the future. And then last but not least, Shock G of the Digital Underground has passed at 57. So I wanted to give him a quick shout out because that was pretty shocking. It's a super bummer for 2021 with all the the deaths that keep coming our way. I'm not sure what's going on out there in the world, but damn.
Yeah, it's rough.
It's yeah, it's hard go spin some records and pay tribute to a legend. And that,
definitely.
With that said, we'll move into our Recs.
And now it's time for the weekly recommendations.
All right, James, did you get to watch anything since the last time that we chatted?
Yes. So I actually watched this probably, I want to say last week, probably a little bit after we got done. It's a film with, her name is Megan Good, I think.
Oh,
and,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, she's good. She's good.
Cousin Skeeter all day.
And Dennis Quaid, a very creepy Dennis Quaid in this movie, and the actor that plays her husband, his name escapes me, but he's in tons of stuff. The movie's called The Intruder, I believe, or Intruder. It's with Dennis Quaid. Came out, I think, about 2 years ago.
Okay.
Right before COVID. Maybe a few months before that.
Michael Ealy?
Yes, I think that's his name.
I gotcha.
This movie is insanely creepy, and Dennis Quaid, it's basically this young couple moves in, and Dennis Quaid plays this guy who, it used to be his house, but his wife died there, so he's having a hard time letting it go, but he ends up selling it to them, and they move in, and he keeps randomly popping up, and just kind of being too neighborly and really just being creepy, and then it kind of grows from there. So check that out if you haven't. It definitely puts I think Dennis Quaid is a great actor, and I think this was kind of eye-opening for me, because I was like, man, I always saw him as this really nice guy in all of his movies, pretty much, for the most part. And in this one, it's like you look at him a different way. He just plays a old, creepy guy, really good. Check it out. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere, but I'm pretty sure you can search and it'll tell you. I
think last time I checked, it was on Stars. Don't quote me on that. They may have taken it off already, but I watched it on Stars, and I thought it was a good thriller, but this is one of those movies that they went with the PG-13 rating to get more people in the seats, and that was a mistake, because I would have liked to see Quaid go full-on crazy, because when you have that kind of rating, it kind of hinders what you can do. So he's still really, really good in it, and the film is worth a watch, but I just wish they would have, upped the ante just a bit. Just a bit for me.
I do agree with that. It definitely would have put a little more on that, on that movie. But definitely check it out if you have the time. It's still a good movie to watch if you haven't seen it. Watch it with a couple of friends if you'd like, or whatever. But check that one out. And then that's my only rec. That's the only new thing I do believe that I've watched within the last couple of days. So I guess it's on to you.
Awesome. All right. So I have two kind of horror-ish recs. My first one is it's a Shudder exclusive, and it's Creepshow season 2, which is they are in the middle of their season right now. Some great cameos from familiar stars that we've seen growing up. Very, very fun. If for people out there who haven't seen the Creepshow films, they are kind of spinning comic book style short horror themed stories, in the vein of Tales from the Crypt, and that's exactly what this is doing. And although they are very gory and kind of adult oriented, I think that they can play as a good gateway. They're goofy enough where they could be. This could be a gateway show for kids, dare I say that.
Okay.
But yeah, Creepshow season 2, very, very fun. Just no holds bar, wacky, fun stories. And, I think you and I are big horror, not just horror fans, but comic book fans. So blending the two is, makes for a good time. So check that out. Creepshow season 2. I think season 1 and season 2 are available right now. If you don't have Shudder, I've said this before, I'll plug it again. AMC Plus gives you so much content. You get all the AMC stuff. If you're into Walking Dead, you get the entire Shudder catalog. You get the BBC UK content, and all the IFC stuff. If you're big into IFC, so much content within that one app. Highly recommend it. Check it out, and check out Creepshow season 2. And then I watched just last night the 1992, believe. I don't think I had seen this all the way until last night. And I'm a big, I think probably both of us are, but big 90s fan. So I love returning back, especially to something that I'm more unfamiliar with, and to watch this. So Single White Female is now on HBO Max, and it is crazy, man. It's as crazy as that title, Single White Female. So basically, it's about this woman in New York. She figures out her fiance has cheated on her with his ex-wife, so then she kind of breaks it off and is scared to get back with him. So she basically brings in a roommate to kind of fill in that spot, and the roommate is not all she appears to be. So yeah, it's kind of like it plays off of that formula of The Intruder, but obviously in 90s fashion. But it's not. I wouldn't say it's very cheesy. It's actually really, really good. If you like films like Fear or Swim Fan or Fatal Attraction, War of the Roses, all that good stuff, this is definitely pretty wild. And it has Bridget Fonda from the film, one of the films that we covered a couple years ago, Kiss of the Dragon. She's really good. Mm-hmm. And then Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Dang.
There we go. Yeah, I didn't want to leave her out because she is so good. Such a, like we were saying, so good at the creep factor. Check it out on HBO Max if you have it. Single White Female, a classic. And that'll move us in to our main focus if you're ready.
Oh yeah, let's attempt to do this.
As ready as we're going to be, right?
I am.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And now for the movie focus of the week.
All right. So this week, James blew all our minds and chose Tenet. Yes. And now we're recording with just two of us.
Oh man, yeah. I literally thought there was gonna be more of us. So I was like, oh, it's gonna be a cool episode, kind of pick all of our brains, but just the two of us, that's fine.
Yeah. Scared everybody away.
This was too big of a movie, man.
Yeah. It's too complex, But what can you do except for we'll try to dig into it as much as we possibly can. So our main focus is Tenet tonight. It's PG-13. It came out in 2020. It runs at 2 hours and 30 minutes, and it's got a 70 on Rotten. It was written and directed by Chris Nolan, and Nolan we trust. I don't know about that anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Starring Elizabeth Debicki, John David Washington, Robert Pattinson, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Fiona Dourif, Kenneth Branagh, Hamish Patel, and Michael Caine. In an attempt to stop World War III, a single agent known only as the protagonist is given a word in order to aid him in his mission to save the world from the future itself. It's important to remember that Tenet was released in the midst of a global pandemic, which caused the otherwise epic film to underperform at the box office due to theaters being forced to limit capacity numbers. Like most of Nolan's films, the idea of Tenet had been floating around in the director's gray matter for over 20 years until 2014 when he started to flesh out the film's central themes. The film took about 6 months to shoot in 2019 and had a variety of different shooting location territories, including UK, Norway, Estonia, Denmark, India,